Hello one and all, welcome back to my YouTube channel Cormac on Cars, and I'm absolutely excited today because I've got some toys to take out and play with. This is what was the first iteration of Aston Martin's legendary model, the Aston Martin Vanquish. So this one is the updated and the more hardcore version, the Vanquish S instead of the standard Vanquish, which was 469 horsepower. This one is up to 520, lowered suspension, quicker gear change and better brakes compared to the other ones, which would be like biscuit barrels. And I'm very excited because I've never actually seen one before, let alone in my favourite location, London. And so yeah, I'm going to take it out and have a bit of fun with it. But I just want to show you around the car. This is at a time when Aston Martin were, you know, still finding their way. They weren't making the best cars, and then after this they bought the DB9 out, which was around the same era with 450 brake horsepower, which was a gentleman's cruiser to like go to Monaco, and this was just to slash around Sloane Street in London and show off. So we're going to walk around and look at the car. This one particularly is rather very nice because it's in blue, which you don't see many of. They're usually in blacks, reds, or just boring greys. This one is absolutely spectacular. What I love particularly is this big wide front grille at the front here, the headlights, and of course the bottom, the bonnet nostrils. Under there is that 5.9 litre naturally aspirated V12. What the thing is though with this Vanquish is the gearboxes weren't the best. It was sort of an automated, semi-automatic manual gearbox. So when you're changing gear, it doesn't always go up. And in the standard version of this car, it was very, very launchy and juddery. It was about as comfortable as falling downstairs with leg calipers. Anyway, let's have a walk around. I want to show you this because this has got a rather lovely interior. So as we get in, we are cocooned in lots of leather and just quintessential Aston Martin luxuries of the time. You know, the paddles at the front here, and this lovely finished chunky steering wheel, which is what I like. And then you've got the analog dials as well, so you can see how fast you're going. And flat out, this will reach top speeds of over 210 or over 200 miles an hour. This is still a fast car by today's standards. It's just absolutely lovely, and it's at the time when supercars were proper supercars. There isn't all this computers and twin turbos that you get on the cars of today. You've got your reverse down here, you've obviously got your sport mode, which will quicken up the gear change even more, and then yeah, you've got your wheel spin mode. It's not really wheel spin, but this car is very twitchy, standard anyway. But this car also, it's got lots of space in the back. You've got this partial shelf down here, Vanquish S, and then it's got the big boot too, which I'll actually pop up and I can show you. So we can have a look. There you go, a nice big boot full of things to take you on a holiday. Got the keys. You know when Aston Martin keys now have the glass thing, that's just a proper analog key. Get in and start the boot down. Key in. Turn the key one step. You let the pumps click in, and then you click the big button. Listen to that. I'm going to give it a cheeky go and then give it a cheeky go for it. So, when this car came out, it was built to rival Ferrari's 575 Super America and the 575, you know, the coupe as well. But because they'd messed around with it, it still wasn't, you know, as good as the Ferrari with the handling package on it which they introduced on the 575. But for me, at that time, I was bored of Ferrari. That era was just, you know, yes, the 575 and the 550 were beautiful cars, but this brings out the inner James Bond. You know, it was the car in Die Another Day, but you never ever I'm seeing that Aston Martin badge on the front and just being cocooned in Drinks Globe Luxury, which this car really is. It's a very spacious car, it's very comfortable, and of course it's great fun. It might not be the most economical car, as you can see I've got my bag in there and all that as well. It's got heated seats, it's got everything. It really is a fabulous, magnificent supercar, and this is what defines the supercars. Aston Martin's bringing out your James Bondness, and especially in this colour. We were coming down Sloane Square just now, everyone was looking at it, taking pictures. Oh, nice car. These are nice, these bolsters are really nice, and it is a very comfortable car. But yeah, it really is fantastic, and it is part of a collection, this car, which we've got more videos coming out on as well. But I think we're going to get some videos of it inside, and yeah, take you around for spin in it as well, so make sure you love enjoying that. And I'm going to just show you some more on the outside. That big fuel filling cap just here, and of course the speakers in the back of the boot on that rear shelf. So it is fabulous, and what I love particularly is these two massive exhausts. Obviously it's not as refined as the DB9. The DB9 is the more comfortable car with 450 horsepower, you know, like the standard car. This is a hardcore supercar, gentleman's version. Truly spectacular. So we are behind the wheel of an Aston Martin Vanquish. This is like the second Aston I've ever driven, and straight away I've got a big smile on my face. I feel like Pierce Brosnan now in the Aston Martin Vanquish S. It's such a wide car, and I think when you're driving it around the streets of London like this, down, is this Sloane Street? Off Sloane Street, you're always very cautious about how wide the car is, and are you going to hit anything? So you just have to like always edge it, just edge through, and just drive very gingerly, because this car is very twitchy. If you just boot it, it'll just spin up the rear wheels. What I love, when you drive this car gingerly, like around the streets of London here, it's very quiet, but then when you step onto the throttle about 2,000 revs, it really opens up that V12 engine. Oh, it's so glorious. And we were mentioning it earlier about the Ferrari 575. Well, that's an all-round better car. This, for me, is what I would go for. I don't lust after a Ferrari 575, but with this I would lust after, and I would have one in the collection. You know, we're currently driving in automatic mode. If I pull the paddle, the gearbox is if you don't get the gears right, it's very juddery. The steering is very heavy, but I like that because it's very talkative and responsive. I'm going to put the window down and show you what I mean by this. There you go, wheel spins. See, that's at 4,000 revs. It really opens up that V12, and you can really hear it sing. And you might have seen there that when I went straight onto the throttle, I might have been a little bit too aggressive, but it just spins up the rear wheels. And with a lot of these supercars, like the 550s and the 575s, you get that drone, and you know the rides are fairly hard. This is a firm ride, but it's not uncomfortable. It's enjoyable. It's just a nice place to be. This car doesn't like to be driven slowly, it likes to be driven very hard. And we're coming up to Sloane Square now here, and we're going to take you around it as well. Stop. So right now I'm in ordinary mode, but here if I put it into sport mode, that will make the gear changes a lot quicker and quicken up the throttle response. And you can tell that in a way that Aston Martin have reworked this car, and it's a lot better and more enjoyable to drive than the standard Vanquish. Yeah, if you really concentrate when you're driving this car, you know that Aston Martin have worked wonders. With the standard Vanquish, it was just a bit slow and not as communicative as this. The throttle response is good, the ride's a lot better, and it's just more, I really like it, you know, it's won me over. But compared to the 575, which this main rival was, you know, you're moving that danger, this is moving it into dangerous territories, because I wouldn't call this a supercar, I'll call it more of a continental, you know, thrashing car. And I love that everyone stops to look at this. I just feel like I should cue the Bond music right now. There you go, in danger. That sound will never get old. It's a very, very wide car and it's very low down, so you have to look up and over the bonnet because you can't always see how far you are and what's in front of you, so you have to be really careful when people walking out. And another thing that I'm really impressed with is these brakes are absolutely fantastic. The other ones were wallowy and slow, but this is, don't think of this as an Aston Martin Vanquish S. Think of this as an Aston Martin Vanquish, the standard car, where every little piece is a little bit better. And when Aston Martin went through and everything, they've worked wonders with it, and it's an absolute masterpiece of a car. And I think because the Vanquish S is the better car, I think this is what they're going to call a modern classic, and I think it will go up in price and it will hold its value a lot better, and that people are going to want them. The brakes can be squeaky, but the brakes stop you on a 6-punt, and like I said, it will top out at over 200 mile an hour. And when it's warmed up, the gears do change gear a lot quicker and a lot better. I like it, and I want to buy one. I've got to keep working a little bit harder though, I would say. You know, it's just the attention to detail with Aston Martin, what they've done. You've got the nice metal paddles, it just feels nice, it's nicely laid out, it's not got all the technical things in it. It's got the heated seats and that there. If you want to go a bit more crazy, we've got the traction control which you can turn off, and you might have seen the car was a little bit juddery there, but that was me being a little bit silly. So I think to conclude with this car then, why it's not as good as the 575, it does win your heart, and for me that's why I'd have one. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'd just like to thank the owner, Hogan Racing London on Instagram, for allowing me to come and take out his beautiful Aston Martin Vanquish S, and also hoganracing.com as his website. Make sure you follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, Cormac on Cars. Take care, bye bye.